Hey everyone, welcome back to World of Warcraft Classic Anniversary and our Night Elf Priest. I appreciate you joining me today, and I hope you are all doing well. Today we are looking to wrap up what remains in the Alterac Mountains. We have just landed in South Shore now to grab what will most likely be our final quest here. So, let us pick that up and get started.
Can I help you?
Got the Crush Ridge Warmongers. Now that you've had a taste of the Crush Ridge Ogres, I want you to really bloody their noses. Go into the ruins of Alterac and seek out the Crush Ridge Warmongers. I want you to cut down a good number of them. That's the only way those brutes will learn to keep their distance from Alliance territory. I remember reading this quest before and looking at the rewards and thinking to myself how awful this wand is for the time where you actually do this quest. It's just funny that this wand is worse than the ones you can buy at a vendor in Stormwind.
Have a good one.
But we'll grab it. I quite enjoy being in the Alterac Mountains myself. And I will certainly use this as an excuse to stay here for just a bit longer. So we'll look to do that. We are also looking for a specific ogre. I forget what his name was, but he carries around with him the Star of Zilia, which is for the Star of the Hand and the Heart. We already have the Heart, I think. Yeah, the Legacy Heart from Mach down in Stranglethorn. And then the only thing we'll need after we pick up the Star is the Hand, which will come from a sea giant over in Dustwallow. Alright, let's make the trip up to the ruins. And we've got some ogres to kill today. We are back in the mountains. I think we take this left here at the fork. To get back into the ruins. This shouldn't be too bad, even though we're killing elite level enemies. I don't think we'll have too hard of a time. We were killing these guys before. I'm going to see if I can attempt to sneak past some of the ones that we don't need. Aggro range should be pretty long. I guess it's easy to sneak by these guys, I think, just because they're quite a few levels below us, which will make it easier for us to pick off the ones that we need. Don't need the mage. Don't need the enforcer either. Looking for a very particular type of ogre. There we go, there's a warmonger. The ones with the axes, I guess. We'll start using Vampiric Embrace on these guys, just because we're not going to be able to shield the entire time, I think. We'll try to use Star Shard as much as we can before shields go down. I anticipate we'll end up using up most of our mana on each pull. But we've got 2 whole stacks of Moonberry Juice with us, so should be fine. Choice. We might have to pick off some of these enforcers here and there. Well, maybe not. I guess it depends on where their patrol route goes. We didn't have find herbs on. I forgot, I guess we died at some point. I only realized that because I saw some bruiseweed right outside this bigger building here. I was like, I don't see that yellow dot on our map. So yeah, I guess we died at some point. Definitely want to keep it on for here, because the gold thorn in particular is always worth quite a bit. We'll grab the Winter's Bite too. The Winter's Bite will at least provide us with some skill points, even if it's not the more desirable of the icy herbs. I think it's called Ice Cap that you can find over in Winter Spring. That tends to be worth quite a bit. Looks like we could potentially find some of these warmongers inside this keep here. It's also a really good thing that these guys don't seem to run. Oh, is that the guy that we need? Yeah, okay, that is the one that we need. I'm just gonna pull him now before he goes inside. Just in case he patrols in a weird way. Make sure silence that. We can use a mana potion here. Yeah, there's a mana potion here. It looks like it's funny how this quest is marked as level 44, but maybe that's just because of Mock, the troll that we killed in Strangledor. Maybe I think he might have been closer to 44, but yeah, I'm really glad that we got the legacy heart out of the way first, because Mock the Savage is, or maybe I'm thinking of somebody else. Was it Mock or somebody else? Anyway, whatever that troll name was in the Stranglethorn Vale is definitely, out of the 3 of these pieces that we need to collect, is definitely the most difficult. This one I remember being the easiest to get. And the hand that we have to get from the sea giant in Dustwallow is also, I think it's harder than this ogre here that we just killed, but easier than the troll that we had to kill. So we should be able to solo that one too, I think. But that's good. We no longer need to kill Grelborg the Miser. We can now just shift our focus over to a nice chill grind on these warmongers. Oh, hello. I'm fine with the group. Totally works for me. Definitely kill these guys a bit faster. I'm sure this paladin here would appreciate the help as well. As their kill speed, their survivability is amazing, but their kill speed is quite slow. Shadowfang Keep music coming in hot in the ruins of Alterac Keep here. I didn't realize that these warmongers were calling for help in the chat box here. And none of them have showed up so far. None of the like surrounding ogres. So far, so good. It looks like they're already done with all of their quests, including this one. We just need 6 more warmongers. There's a guy at the top there, which maybe after we turn in this one... Oh, hello, Growboard. Maybe after we turn this quest in, they'll have us come back to kill him, which we could do if we wanted to. I guess it just depends on the reward that we'll get out of it. Surprising amount of drinking of water with our paladin friend here. Despite having the second person, I feel like we're drinking even more. With us. Don't think we need his assistance to wrap up the rest. Should be fine. There's a warmonger or 2 up here by this little tower, as well as some grave moss, which we'll definitely want to pick up. some different player here looking for something else. Warlock. So we'll just rebuff ourselves as well and just drink some more. We just need one more warmonger and then we can get out of here. Beautiful. Wonder if we can check for that goblin vendor again as well. I forget where he's located. Might be on the northern end. If I remember correctly, I don't think he's up here. Maybe I can check when this ogre passes by. It's always worth checking for the frost oil recipe. You can sell it on the auction house. For those that are unwilling to make the trip out here and wait for the plans to spawn in. Yeah, I don't think this is the wall that he's located on. He must be on a different one. We'll try to make our way back on foot. Just because we're gonna have to use some mind soothes here and there, I think, to avoid combat. Our friend broke in, and look at that, recipe's here. Nice little extra chunk of change. It's nothing crazy, but
glad I could help.
a gold and a half worth maybe. All right, we completed what we set out to do, so we are going to head back to South Shore so we can get this turned in. And then I gotta figure out what we're gonna do from there. Maybe we'll go into the hinterlands now. Might not be a bad idea. We're definitely not gonna hit 46 today, that's for sure. So we don't have to worry about new abilities necessarily, but I feel like one episode in the hinterlands would be more than enough, I would imagine. Thorn over here. Might not be a bad idea to take a quick trip through the uplands here. Just to look for some herbs. There's some gold thorn over there too. We're doing very well on gold now. We're at 77 gold. Just the little bit of herbs we've been picking up here and there, plus the random assortment of items that have been dropping, like the green pages of Stranglethorn, some random potions and stuff. Everything's been selling quite nicely. Which has been awesome. So I guess if we really wanted to, we could also go back to like Ironforge or something. If we didn't want to like start the hinterlands quite yet. And maybe we can like look at some tailoring recipes on the auction house. And if we can't find any like recipes, we could just simply level tailoring a little bit more. See if we can get it up to artisan range. Say goodbye to the mountains. I do not think we will be coming back. Unless we want to farm up some like wild steel bloom or gold thorn maybe. Still haven't looked into a wild steel bloom route. Just because that herb seems to be the most expensive for this level range. But who knows, maybe there'll be a better herb that we can go after as we continue to push towards level 50. Now that we have a mount, it's a bit more viable to start doing some sort of gathering. You have got to be kidding me. We have got the messenger. Let's help them out. Yeah, that's the Forsaken Courier right there. That is ridiculous. we were looking for that guy forever. Yeah, we spent many episodes running up and down this path in between here and the Goshek farm in the Highlands. Never saw that dang courier.
You need something?
Very good. Here's your reward. And when you were hunting those warmongers, how did Alterac City look? It's in bad shape, I would guess. Ogres are not known for their cleanliness. Thankfully, your efforts will help keep them away from South Shore. I think... Which one is worth more? I guess the wand.
Be careful.
So we'll take that. Yeah, we don't have a quest to kill that guy that was at the top of the keep in there, so... that is it. We have nothing left. You can check the vendor here in town real quick for any
Looking for
additional
something
recipes that they could carry. Pattern Icy Cloak. Ooh, interesting. I'm going to pick this up. Even if we don't use it, we can always just sell it. It requires a frost oil to make. I mean, it's not better than what we have now. The frost, it's really, you would want this for the frost resistance, I guess. Which, I'm not really sure what that would be useful for. PvP, maybe.
Looking for something specific.
This is the general goods vendor. I don't think I'm going to find anything there necessarily. Okay, I think I want to work on some profession stuff today, specifically with tailoring. So let's fly back to Ironforge. Actually, let's fly to Stormwind. Because if I do end up hitting Artisan range, the Master Tailor, I believe, is in Stormwind. There's one here in Menethil, actually, as well, I think. Or maybe that's Theramore. Maybe I'm thinking of Theramore.
Need help?
But we'll go to Stormwind because we're going to have to purchase some cloth to use. We did pick up some silk today, which is nice. We can still make the Crimson Silk Vest, which is pretty cheap. Which is surprising for this level. I wasn't expecting to see a silk recipe that was easy to use at 190 tailoring. We'll make ourselves some bolts. We'll see how far this silk vest can go, because I have to imagine this is the last silk recipe that we can really utilize, I think. And then we'll buy some mage weave as well. We should definitely be able to make our mage weave bags today. At the very least, even if we can't like craft ourselves any other gear upgrades. But I'm hoping we can find something cool on the auction house that we'll eventually be able to make. I'm glad that we were able to make these robes of power for ourselves. But I'd like to make some other pieces if we can too, before we head into Zul'Farrak. so we'll head over to the auction house. Got some stuff I can sell. Should probably vendor some stuff too, just to clear out our bags before we pick up all the cloth from the mailbox. Once we purchase it. I really don't know how much silk we're actually going to need, so I'm gonna have to eyeball this a little bit here. Start out small, I suppose, first, and we'll probably need some mage weave as well, which luckily is also very cheap right now, so let's just buy out a ton of it because we are going to need a ton of it. I'm okay with spending the gold right now. Frost oil plans could potentially sell for close to 6 gold. That would be very, very good. So I guess now we can start trying to browse for some recipes, maybe. I don't know if that would be under trade. Oh no, there's a recipe section here. Tailoring, let's see what is available. I don't know if the level really matters so much. I feel like we should just look through all of it. A lot of this stuff is going to be like max level patterns. Azure shoulders, we don't care about too much. Enchantment bag, I do not care. Black silk pouch, nope. It's level 49 stuff that we don't really care about too much. Frost and shadow resistance as the only stats on a piece of clothing. I mean, this is a really cool set of robes, but like, in what scenario would you want that? I'm not sure. Crimson silk shoulders, I don't think those are going to be better than what we have. Level 33, that's not too great. The earthen silk belt, though, 8 stam, 8 spirit, I feel like would be, I mean, if we're going for as much spirit as possible, we don't currently have any spirit on our belt at the moment. So we could pick this up in theory. It's kind of just like an adjacent upgrade. It doesn't feel like super great. Fell cloth robe, increase the damage done by shadow spells. Don't want to get rid of our robes of power so quickly. The shoulders, though, I mean, this requires a level 50s anyway, so maybe we will end up going down that route eventually. Yeah, a lot of this stuff really just like ties back to like additional damage of a specific, magic, school of magic, I guess you could say. Which is not what I'm after, unfortunately. I'm kind of after just some generic patterns here, but there really isn't a whole lot. These pants are somewhat interesting. Increase the damage and healing done by 14. We'd be losing a ton of spirit though, but we do really need to upgrade our pants at some point. Tough to decide. None of these are really standing out to me though, unfortunately. Some headband patterns for the 50s. Those will be great eventually, I suppose. but right now not really worth our time. So yeah, unfortunately it looks like we don't really have anything. We'll just have to use whatever we can get off of our trainer for now. But it's good that we went, you know, just took the time to go through this exercise anyway. Just to see what's out there. I feel like I would want to just look up some stuff online and then maybe just go after specific patterns that I know could potentially be useful for us later on. Okay. Alright, let's go vendor some of this stuff first and we can repair as well.
Hello. Safe travels.
Running into some add-on issues lately. Having trouble just opening our mail. While we're here, we could check the bank real quick. Maybe I'll do a quick /reload to see if we can get that to work again. I think that comes from Auctionator, if I'm not mistaken.
Need help?
The ability to just open up all our mail. Yeah, we got a couple of bolts of silk in here. So I'm glad I caught that. Oh good, and now it says we don't have anything in our mailbox. That is odd. Alright, I'm gonna quickly relog and I will be back in just a moment. Alright, we are back. Looks like we're okay now. Yeah, we had a very weird thing where the I guess like the maintenance, like today's Tuesday, so there's maintenance for NA servers today. And it was really weird. There was like an hour, it was the typical 1 hour of maintenance, and I was able to get on basically as soon as it ended. Which is normally around like, what is it, 8 a.m. PST. And, you know, we recorded most of the episode today during that time. And then I check back, like after we have this little mailbox thing, and I log back out. And the launcher is telling me that the maintenance was actually pushed up an additional hour. And technically we weren't supposed to be in the game at that time, I guess. So, I don't know, maybe there's just some difficulties. Maybe everybody else got kicked out for a couple minutes. We should be good now, though. We are currently making our bolts of silk, and we'll buy the rest of the materials to start churning through these crimson silk vests. We'll see how long it lasts for. I have a feeling this will take us to 200 and then not really much further past that, if I had to guess, but we'll see. I always think that I buy enough silk and or mage weave to get done what we need to get done. Like, this looks like a lot of mage weave that we have in our bags right now, but considering that every bolt I think requires like 5 pieces of cloth, it's nowhere near as much as you think it is. Alright, so we can make 8 of these. Yeah, so we actually could probably use a little bit more silk, but we'll We'll just do this for now and see
How are you?
how far we can take it. We need 16 of these and these. I can only buy 10 of these at a time. And these should be quite long crafts, I guess. It says that these could sell for 70 silver on the auction house, interestingly enough. Oh yeah, I mean it looks like it would be a pretty good transmog piece for Classic. I can see why that would be desirable, particularly in RP realms. We'll just vendor it though. I don't think we'll bother trying to sell it like these. This is the kind of item that could take weeks for somebody to buy it. Yeah, there's really nothing else that we can make with the mage weave, actually. Maybe we just need to speak with our,
Need help?
Oh, this guy's only artisan. Okay. So I think we do have to go to that guy in Theramore to level up. Crimson silk pantaloons. We've got more silk stuff, huh? I guess we'll take that and then we'll have to go back and get more silk. Technically this cloak is an upgrade. Also silk though. I'm still just shocked that we still have so much silk still to go through. Yeah, look at all this stuff. It's so weird. I guess I'll pick up a couple of those. So I guess we're not really done with silk. I guess we're not as done with silk as I thought we were. Alright, well we're definitely going to have to pick up more then. It looks like we can still make a lot of these crimson silk vests. They vend it for 20 silver, which should pay for the majority of the materials cost. So let's go ahead and dump some more gold and push silk as far as we can. Let's check the price of bolts of silk too, so we can cut out that additional step. So we need 4 silk, which, let me just run a quick check again. I mean, silk is going for, like, let's just round it up to like 2 silver a piece, so every bolt costs 8. Yeah, so it is a little bit pricier to just buy them outright, but it would save us a bunch of time. So maybe we can do like a combination of both. And buy some bolts. And then we'll buy a little bit of silk as well to make into more bolts. Alright, I think that's enough silk. That's quite a lot. make the rest of these bolts. And then we'll go back. I guess we've got a couple of recipes that I just picked up too that we can look into. Yeah, these are all orange. I'm so surprised. This one requires mana potions. That's funny. Yeah, these shoulders don't require anything else besides the thread, but they do require an additional bolt. Yeah, the Crimson Silk Vest is definitely still the cheapest one probably, so we'll do that until that becomes yellow and or green maybe. And then we'll see what these other recipes do as far as when they turn yellow.
Hey there.
Just make one more for now. See where that leaves us when we hit 200. Okay. Still orange, so yeah, let's we'll get 10 of these now to bring us up to 205. And we'll see if it changes again. I could have sworn that we were already doing like a bunch of Mage Weave stuff, but I guess not. We were able to make bolts of Mage Weave at like 190, I think. Or before, it was before that. I guess we didn't really have too many recipes though to actually utilize it with. I know at 205 we can definitely pick up some Mage Weave related stuff. At least one thing that I noticed. Okay. Okay, now we can just move over to the pants now, because the pants, we'll have to buy silk thread now, which is a little bit more expensive. It's a lot more expensive, but we can do that now because those are still orange. Let's see if we can get 10 points out of this, because we still have over 40 bolts of silk. That a shot. So we're down to 58 gold now. We've spent quite a bit, but vendoring this stuff should make up for at least a fraction of what we paid for. Hopefully a sizable chunk. We can vendor these off once we've made our last one. I've got enough to make 2 more of these, I guess. Maybe I should just buy the materials to do that. It's yellow to us now, but let's just, we'll wrap this up. Get rid of the rest of the bolts that we have. Then I don't, hopefully we won't have to touch silk ever again after today for either first aid or tailoring. So that's nice.
King's honor, friend.
And from our trainer, I think it starts with the black mage weave stuff. This is kind of the next thing that we, well, honestly, this is the next set that we kind of skipped over. And these legs are better, so we could pick these up. The vest is not, I would say. Still cool to have a vest, and we might just pick it up anyway, just to make it, and have something to do with that. We'll ignore the crimson silk gloves, I think. Black mageweave gloves, no stats, but it's got spell power on it. A lot of it, actually. Maybe that is better. Orange mageweave might be decent for coming up with some skill levels. We do have some blue gloves coming up though at 225. These are probably what we're going to want to make. Dreamweave gloves. These are definitely a nice upgrade. Dreamweave vest. Ooh, that might be an upgrade too. And then the mageweave bag, all at 225. So I think that's definitely going to be our next goal for sure. And yeah, screw it. Let's make this a little bit longer of an episode today. Wasn't expecting to have a profession episode today, but let's do it. We've got a bunch of people here at Duncan's Textiles. So many. Cloth quartermasters up there as well. I think that's where you turn in like cloth for exchange for reputation, I think. What is the point of the reputation? I guess the city-based reputations, other than to just like buy the mounts, I guess. But it's not like there were any collections back in vanilla or achievements for it, so I guess if you're a night elf and you really, really want to ride a horse that bad, then I suppose you would turn that in. Maybe you get a tabard? Maybe. The tabards might be kind of cool. Show off some city flair. I guess tabards are actually one of the few ways that you can actually transmog in Classic without removing your gear, so I suppose there's that aspect as well. Oh yeah, we're definitely going to want to start with this orange mageweave shirt. It only requires one bolt. And I have to assume that we can get the orange dye simply from the tailoring supply vendor. Yeah, we'll definitely do that first. Don't know if any of this black mageweave stuff we're actually going to use then. Maybe the legs. We do get more intellect and armor out of it compared to what we have now. We haven't replaced our legs since BFD, Black Fathom Deeps. But the robe we don't care about, and the gloves I don't think we care about either, knowing that we've got those Dreamweave gloves that we can make at 225. So we'll get to 225 real quick. And then we gotta go to Theramore, I think. should be our last one.
Looking for something specific?
Let's go down to the orange Mage Weave shirt. Should do a couple at a time, I think. So let's start with 3 of these, 3 of these. Man, these shirts are hard to make. Take quite a bit of effort, but maybe that's just going to be all Mage Weave and Rune Cloth recipes moving forward. Each one is just going to take quite a bit of time. I can only imagine what it takes to craft like one of the epic pieces at level 60. This is probably what, like a 30-second timer maybe? Craft something epic. Wouldn't be surprised if it took you like 5 minutes to craft it or something like that. See what happens with this one when it hits 220. Hopefully this can take us to 225. That would be really good. Did turn yellow. Do we want to take the risk? I feel like we do. The gloves only require 2, and it's probably a guaranteed point, but we might be able to get to 225 sooner with this. 5 of these. Let's give it a shot. It'll be worth just as much as the gloves even if we craft like 2 at a time, I guess. And it's probably cheaper to craft, like we'll probably make more of our money back crafting these. Hopefully the materials for the Dreamweave stuff is not too expensive. So that would be unfortunate if it had us try to pick up something, like elemental stuff or pearls, like golden pearls or something. I think it also depends on whether or not the set is like soulbound or not. So I know the robes that we created here are soulbound and specific to tailors. You can't sell this on the auction house. Which is probably why it wasn't that expensive to make. So I'm kind of hoping for the same results with the Dreamweave stuff. Looks like we might actually get to 225, just these orange Mage Weave shirts. Perfect.
Well met.
Let's pick up those last 3 here. Dreamweave gloves, vest, and bag. Let's open those up and see what we need. Bag is pretty self-explanatory. We can make these right away. The gloves, ooh, Wildvine. Ooh, that's typically more expensive, right? 67 silver is not that bad. Oh, and these are bind on equip too, so we could potentially make some money off of these if we wanted to. And the vest has like the same kind of stuff. This vest might be better than what we have now. Yeah, it's like significantly better. Oh my goodness. I hate to replace our robe of power so soon, but this vest is way better. And these, it's a shame, I guess, a little bit too, because these robes are beautiful. I really love the way that these look. There's so much detail in them. And it's not random, it's very elegant. But we also haven't gotten a chance to wear a vest in a very long time, so this might be a good opportunity to switch gears a little bit for that. So yeah, let's make these. I think we should be able to make these right now. These are not very expensive to make at all. We're not going to get skill ups for them, I guess, unless we want to make the trip back to Theramore now, like after we buy the appropriate materials. We've got 4 minutes left on our Hearthstone. That would certainly make things a little bit faster. Maybe that's what we'll do. I don't want to waste any points. Every point from here until 300 is going to be quite a bit more expensive, I think. 1 gold each. Yeah, I had a feeling that these were more expensive than what this was leading off to be, but... So I need 10 of them, 10 gold. It's probably worth it, I think. We can just buy these two. Part of the wild should be very cheap. Looks to be. Buy this stack of 4. And that's all we need. Everything else is just a thread from the vendors. So, really cool. So we, in fact, are getting some pretty decent upgrades today. Both in our chest slot and glove slot. The chest slot was definitely unexpected. I was not expecting to replace this so soon. But the glove slot, I'm definitely happy about. We've had to purchase these ones that we have now, I think off the auction house is where we got those. Because we were just not running into any upgrades anywhere else. Like, we just could not find gloves. We could not find, belts anywhere. Bracers, same thing. We couldn't make any, and none of them were dropping from dungeons. Alright, so we'll grab these. And we'll wait, the 1 minute and 45 seconds for our Hearthstone to come back up, so we can go back to Menethil. We can vendor these shirts, I guess, in the meantime. I don't think anybody's going to buy these. Can't really see what it looks like right now underneath our robes.
Step on up.
So all in all, we've spent about 25 gold or so, I think, to go from 190 all the way up to 225, and to also craft ourselves some new upgrades that should last us for quite a bit. These are marked as level 40, so I have to imagine, and I don't think from Zul'Farrak we saw anything that would, replace either of those things. Maybe the gloves from the Witch Doctor boss. Yeah, ooh, these gloves are pretty strong as well. There's no spell damage on them though, so I don't think we're going to be using them. This staff is interesting though. This staff affects both a damage and healing, whereas our mace right now only affects healing. So this is probably going to be an upgrade, even though we are going to be losing quite a bit of spirit. We're getting stamina instead from it though. So we'll see. And then this this headpiece here, the Bad Mojo mask from Shadow Priest, Zez's. This is our big ticket item for Zul'Farrak, I think. This is like this is a ridiculous upgrade, and would probably last us for a very long time. And then we'll just have to see what we get from the quests that are involved in this place, because there's going to be quite a few. And I have to imagine 1 or 2 of them can provide us with some blue gear. Gonna head over to Theramore shortly. I'm gonna take a look at some of these city quests, see if there's anything that we need to pick up. Passing the Burden in the Hall of Explorers, 52. Not sure where that would lead. Definitely not even close to being ready for that though. Back to Oldemon, I'm probably not gonna get to it. Tabitha's Task. This is for Zul'Farrak, but I think this specific quest might just be a breadcrumb to Tabitha. I think we could just go to Tabitha herself in Dustwallow and just pick up the same quest that it leads to. As the Dark Moon Fair is out as well. Otherwise, nothing special there. This Tiara quest in Stormwind. I didn't really look at Stormwind before we left, but I think this is probably from Maradon. And then this temple quest, I would also assume is in Sunken Temple. It's only level 43, so... Vital supplies, I missed this one too. I wonder what that one leads to. I know there's nothing in Narcissus that I saw before, so we don't have to worry about that. Yeah, no, I mean, I think we're ready for the hinterlands. Got some additional quests we can pick up. But we'll be looking to gather up what we need from that quest we picked up in Ruthven Village, as well as the Clement surprise. That's something else I could have done in Stormwind too, is pick up the cheese. For that quest, but it's fine. We can just go back. Especially if we hit like level 46 or something after the hinterlands questing that we're doing. I guess I'll be the one to hang out in the box today. back in Theramore once again. And we still need to get that sea giant that I mentioned earlier. That's going to be up north here by the islands where the Murlocs were. I think it's like the altar is like right in the middle, and we actually have to farm up a specific item first before we can summon him. I think it took our hunter quite a long time to find that item too. We had to kill a ton of Murlocs before it dropped for us. Alright, so we're heading over to the left here. I think it's this building right here where that paladin just tried to go through. There's our guy, Timothy Worthington.
What can I do for you?
Artisan tailoring, please. Thank you. What else can we pick up here? Black mage weave boots. I think those are better than what we have now. We're only getting 5 spell power from our current boots, so that might be better. Headband. This is better. Be able to make that soon. Shoulders. Probably not better than what we have. Black dress. Okay. Nothing too crazy. I think we're getting the best items out of the way now.
What are you looking for?
For quite a while until like rune cloth comes into the picture. Alright, so we just need heavy silken thread for those. Yeah, let's craft the Dreamweave stuff first. And then we'll make our bags, too. It's been a while. We found this large knapsack off a random enemy. I think several episodes ago. And otherwise, we've had these small silk packs for, like, almost the entire playthrough. So to finally replace them now is going to feel pretty good. So I'm trying to think as it stands right now. So this vest is going to give us an extra 4 spell power, and then we're getting, the full 18 from these gloves, which is awesome. And we'll see how that affects everything. It'll probably make Holy better, or Holy spec a little bit better than it will Shadow, I think. But it'll still be good either way. Alright, so we're making 3 bags here. We're making 3 bags, and then we're going to be left with a bunch of bolts of Mage Weave that we can kind of do whatever we want with. I imagine we're probably just going to funnel them all into these black Mage Weave gloves, since those will still provide the highest chance of getting a skill point. I guess we'll just try to get rid of all the Mage Weave now. Just get as many skill points as we can out of them, and then we probably won't work on tailoring for quite a while. We'll just continue to collect more and more Mage Weave. We'll probably shove it in the bank if we can remember to do so. And then once we've, gotten to the point where maybe we're in our 50s and rune cloth is going to look a bit more appealing and actually start to drop for us out in the world, then we'll have to revisit the profession once again. Yeah, next up will be, I think it's just cooking now. And we need to finish up, yep. Otherwise we'll be all squared away from the artisan standpoint. That's going to feel really good. Okay, the gloves just turned yellow to us, but it's still like such a cheap recipe that I really want to try to see if we can squeeze as much value out of it as we can. And then we'll go ahead and equip everything that we've made. And once we're done here today, since we won't have to make or work on tailoring too much more for at least a bit, we're just going to be saving up a lot of gold from here, which is going to feel good. We should have plenty by the time that we need it next. I guess I could try to sell these black mage weave gloves that I'm making right now. They don't go for too much. So, I don't know. Vendoring them might also just be fine. Yeah, damn, these seem like the full minute to craft. We missed the point on the last one, but just got another one now. Yeah, I'll probably just speed run through the rest of these, so you guys don't have to stick around for another 7 minutes to watch these just go through. We're just going to vendor them, probably. And we'll see where our skill points are at from there. If I had to guess, we'll probably end up around 237, assuming that a couple of these might fail.
Have a good one.
Let's equip the vest. Ooh, interesting. We are definitely going to be going for a new look. Gloves are quite cool as well. And then we can equip the bags. Beautiful, an extra 6 spaces, which doesn't sound like a lot, but we will take more bag space every single time. And so like I said, I'll make the rest of those cloth pieces. We can actually see our pants and our boots now. And this is going to be our new look for a little bit. Except in shadow form, I guess. So, alright, we're going to ditch the robes for quite a bit. We'll see when the next time is that we get our next chest piece, which will probably be closer to level 50. Either whatever we can make with rune cloth, or, you know, maybe something from Sunken Temple or something like that is when I imagine we'll go back to the robes. That's going to do it for me for today. As always, I appreciate you all so much for watching. And if you enjoyed today's episode, please consider liking the video and following this series playlist down in the description below. And of course, if you are ever interested in supporting the channel and continuing to help me keep those mid-roll ads out of all of my episodes on YouTube, consider checking out my Patreon page as well. I hope to see you in the next one. Take care.